Hey YouTube, Kira Twig here, bringing you all an update to my Ojama Yugioh deck profile for post-dual overload. Wanted to do an update to the deck. We finally got the Ojama Emperor Link 3 monster, which definitely does help with the overall playstyle you can do with the Ojama monsters and all the different Ojama spells we have in the deck. Really powering up the deck. I was going to do an armed dragon version of this deck very soon as well, probably following Master Rule 5, so maybe sometime in April, but wanted to start off with the pure Ojama deck that focuses on spamming out all the different Ojama monsters to summon out the Link monster and then make use of the fusion monsters as well with all the different effects that Ojama Knight and Ojama King can do with the deck as well. So let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So to start off, for the Ojama monsters, we're sticking to the trio playsets for all of the main 5 Ojama monsters, including 3 Ojama Yellow. All of the first 3 Ojama monsters, including Ojama Yellow, Green, and Black, all have just the 0 attack, 1000 defense, no effect, normal monsters, but still like to run a max amount of all of them being the main focus of the deck and just needing them to easily summon out the new Link monster, which is Ojama Emperor. Like I said, very strong Link monster that the deck definitely did need. So 3 Ojama Yellow along with 3 Ojama Green and also 3 Ojama Black, just for the, like I said, making up almost 1/4 of the deck. Definitely helps to at least open up some of these cards, and having easy ways to search out the cards in the deck definitely does come in handy for all the different plays we can do. For the other Ojama monsters, I am also running 3 Ojama Blue. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can add 2 Ojama cards from your deck to your hand. This can include Ojama Muscle. So you just have options to search out cards like Ojama Magic, Ojama Country, you name it. All the different searches with Ojama Blue, even if you just need some additional Ojama monsters because you already have some of the other Ojama cards in your hand. Ojama Blue with that destroy by battle definitely does help just to get the searches you need to help for some of your other plays. And the other one that definitely does help for the Link play, which is Ojama Red. When this card is normal summon, you can special summon up to 4 Ojama monsters from your hand in attack position. So just that consistency gives you, up to 5 Ojama monsters on the field, being able to use 3 of them for the Link summon of your Ojama Emperor, and then being able to fuse into the Ojama Knight using your other Ojama monsters definitely does help for the special summon aspect, and at least give you a little more consistency and strength with all your different Ojama monsters in the deck. And then I'm also running, even though I'm sticking to the pure Ojama for this deck profile, I still like to run 2 Armed Dragon level 5. This is to go with the Oja match, having a search option for the Armed Dragon level 5 for this play. If you don't want to run the Armed Dragon in the Oja match, keeping it more for a consistent Ojama playstyle in this deck, I'll show you what cards to take out when we get to the spells for Ojama match to keep it as pure as an Ojama deck as possible, not having to run any of the Armed Dragon plays in this deck. But you can even tribute summon this card out, but it's mostly just there for the search power in the deck for your Ojama plays for your cards, even being able to use this card as discard fodder for the Fusion Recycling Plant, which we also run in the deck. But that is it for the monsters, sticking mainly to the pure power of all the different Ojama monsters in the deck being your main go-to focus for all the summons you can do. For the spells being a very important one because it focuses on Ojama Emperor as well, I run 3 Ojama Country. Once per turn, you can send 1 Ojama card from your hand to the graveyard to special summon 1 Ojama monster from your graveyard. While you control 1 face-up Ojama monster, switch the original attack and defense of all monsters on the field. So this won't work, obviously, with Ojama Emperor, but having Ojama Country on the field will still give Ojama Emperor its 3000 attack, making it a true boss monster, but also being able to switch the attack of your Ojama King, Ojama Knight, and all your Ojama monsters, and your opponent's monsters, depending on what they have, aside from Link monsters, will definitely keep them guessing with their overall play strategy. And I also run the 1 Terraforming just to have more search options for your Ojama Country in the deck as well. For some of the other Ojama spells, I'm running 2 Ojama Magic. I might consider bumping this up to 3. I decided to keep it at 2 for now, just for some of the other search options we have. When this card is sent from the hand or field to the graveyard, add one of each Ojama Green, Ojama Yellow, and Ojama Black from your deck to your hand. It's a mandatory search, so you won't miss timing with it either, being able to grab the search after any chain resolution also. So having this just for that 3 search, you want to make sure you maybe search off Ojama Red when you use Ojama Blue's effect, because if you know you can discard for this card, it's definitely the plus to go for. And one of the best cards, along with Ojama Country, to send off Ojama Magic is Ojama Match. You send 1 Ojama card from your hand or face up from your field to the graveyard to add to your hand 1 Ojama monster with a different name and 1 armed dragon monster from your deck and or graveyard. Then immediately after this effect resolves, you can normal summon 1 of those monsters during the main phase. You can banish this card from your graveyard, target 3 your banished Ojama monsters, shuffle them into the deck, and draw 1 card. So with this, I have the armed dragons in here just for the search option. Like I said, you're even able to add them from the graveyard, but if you open up just the one armed dragon and then you don't have another target in your basically your deck, you won't be able to get off the search if it's only in your hand, making it kind of a dead draw, and why I like to run the 2 armed dragon level 5 as well. But with Ojama Match, you basically will be able to send the Ojama Magic from your hand to the graveyard to search off the armed dragon level 5, and then also grab your Ojama Red, giving you the 2 cards, then using your Ojama Magic to search out your Ojama Black, Ojama Green, and your Ojama Yellow for your plays, then being able to normal summon your Ojama Red, getting out the additional Ojamas and any other ones you may have already had in your hand for the summon, and then being able to go off of that for the play. Definitely very, very useful. And then just having the additional armed dragon, like I said, can be used for some other discard fodder we have for some cards in the extra deck and other ones in the main deck. For some other setup in the graveyard as well, I'm running 2 Painful Decision. This one just helps to search out specific Ojama monsters, being also able set up in the graveyard. For some of our other special summon plays, it definitely does come in handy for that specific search, just so you have more to go for from your hand to the graveyard and then onto the field. Plus, we run 3 of each of the Ojama monsters, so it's very easy to search them out. Also, for the Armed Dragon level 5 and the Ojama Match, if you didn't want to run the Ojama Match and Armed Dragon monsters, you can always switch out the Ojama Matches for hand destructions, still being able to discard the Ojama Magics, just remembering your opponent needs hand cards to use the hand destruction as well. And then for the Armed Dragon level 5, you can put in Instant Fusion. I was considering not playing it because I don't really know what the status of Instant Fusion will be post-ban list, but still an option to consider with this deck also. And then for easy special summoning, along with the Painful Decision, setting them up in your graveyard, or just late game, I'm running 2 Tri-White. You target 3 level 2 or lower normal monsters in your graveyard, special summon them from the graveyard, so just giving you more resources for your Ojama monsters in the graveyard to special summon is definitely a plus for sure with this deck. And I'm also running 2 Foolish Burial Goods. This is for Ojama Duo, but it can potentially be, if your Ojama monsters are banished, a send-off for your Ojama Match to recycle them back into the deck to draw a card by setting this card up in the graveyard if you've already gone through enough of the draw power search with the other Ojama Matches in the deck. And I also run the 2 Polymerization for the Fusion plays and the 1 Fusion Recycling Plant, with the Fusion Recycling Plant being able to discard the Armed Dragons you search from your deck to your hand, and then also grab the Polymerization off the same search, being able to fuse into your go-to fusions, which are your Ojama King and your Ojama Knight for the deck. And for some of the other one-ofs for the spells, I run 1 Ojama Delta Hurricane and 1 Monster Reborn, more of the special summon for some of your bigger Ojama monsters, but you can easily have Ojama Green, Ojama Yellow, and Ojama Black face up on the field as well to destroy all of your opponent's cards on their side of the field, not just spell or traps, not just monsters. This card destroys all of them, and then if you have Ojama Country and Ojama Emperor set up on your field, you can just quickly attack for game against your opponent also. And that is it for the spells. For the traps, I'm running 2 Ojama Duo. Just the token power helps when you need to attack into some of your opponent's monsters, but also during either player's turn, if this card was sent to the graveyard, except the turn was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card to special summon 2 Ojama monsters with different names from your deck. So you could search out Ojama Blue or any of the other Ojama monsters. I definitely like to go for Blue first, just so my opponent will most likely attack into it, destroying it by battle and giving giving me my 2 additional searches for my card. So you can easily send this to the graveyard during your turn, and then during your opponent's turn, banish this card to get the special summon. And I also like to run the 1 Metaverse, Ojama Country being a very important card in the deck. Having the Terraforming Search definitely does help, but just having another additional field spell search definitely just helps to set the card up on the field to use as well. And then being able to activate it during my opponent's turn when my opponent may have, different Ojama monsters with different attack on the field, being able to switch them during my opponent's turn can definitely set them on their toes also. And that is it for the main deck. We'll now move on to the extra deck. I run 2 Ojama Emperor, the new Link monster. Was definitely excited when we would finally get this card in the TCG. You need 3 beast monsters, including an Ojama monster to make it. While Ojama Country is on the field zone, this card gains 3,000 attack. Also, it cannot be destroyed by card effects. Your opponent takes any battle damage you would have taken from attacks on this card. Instead, you can target 1 non-Link Ojama monster in your graveyard, special summon it also for the rest of this turn. You cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck except for fusion monsters. You can only use this effect of Ojama Emperor once per turn. So it doesn't really, lock you out of the extra deck too bad, since you do have your fusion options to go into, but also being able to special summon your Ojama Knight and Ojama Emperor from the graveyard as well, since they don't have any, fusion specifications. As long as you properly summon them, then summoning them back onto the field for you to use just means you can keep summoning multiple Ojama monsters onto the field to summon out, and fully using your Ojama Country. It doesn't really switch the attack of your monsters, but basically does the same thing with Ojama Emperor, making it 3,000 attack as Ojama King normally would as well. For some of the other Link monsters, I run 2 Hip Potion Engine. This one helps for the boosting of your light monsters on the field's attack, and also being able to recycle some of your other Ojama monsters, since they are all light monsters. And also, if you open up some of the normal monsters and no other cards, I still like to run the 2 Link Spider. The special summon play gives you access to some other Link monsters in the extra deck as well by special summoning out the Ojama monsters onto the field. And I also run 1 Barricade Board Blocker. This is another card for the discard play with your Armed Dragon, level 5, being able to then add back the continuous or the field spell from your graveyard to your hand. And also the 1 Security Dragon. It works very, very well for the co-link play against your opponent to bounce a card when you set up the Link Spider and may have another Ojama play on the field. And I also run the 1 Cross Sheep for the fusion plays you can do and the exceed plays in the deck, and the 1 Nightmare Unicorn to shuffle back more of your opponent's cards. And for the fusion monsters, I'm running 1 Ojama Knight and 1 Ojama King. Just having these for the fusion plays definitely does help. Just needing 2 Ojama monsters, and then also the Ojama Green, Ojama Yellow, Ojama Black helps for the Ojama Red and Blue plays with Ojama Knight, and then having the trio for Ojama King, and being able to special summon them back onto the field with Ojama Emperor is also very, very useful. And I also run 1 First of the Dragons, just needing 2 normal monsters to make this boss monster for your fusion plays. And also with your Ojama Emperor, you may be limited to fusion plays, but you can still summon out First of the Dragons from your extra deck. And for the Exceed monsters, I still like to run the number 64 Ronin Raccoon Tsundere and the Phantom Knights of Cursed Javelin for the rank 2 plays that you can do with your Ojama monsters. And as for some of the go-to plays, I really do like the Tri-White Special Summon. If you can set up the 3 Ojama monsters in your hand and also the go-to fusion play, what you can do, it's kind of a reverse of the actual fusion setup. If you set up with these 5 cards in your hand, or you're even able to use, let's say, Oja Magic to search out the 3, giving you less cards you need to open up within your hand, as long as you say you have the Oja Magic and the Oja Match in your hand to go for. Whatever the situation, you'll have your Ojama monsters and these 2 cards on the field. For Master Rule 5, since you're not limited to the main monster zone, to summon out your fusion monster, you can activate Polymerization, fusing your 3 Ojama monsters together to go into your Ojama King, which you don't have to put in the extra monster zone anymore. You can summon it in the main monster zone, and then you can use Tri-White to special summon the 3 Ojama monsters you just sent to the graveyard onto the field, and then you can go for the Link Summon using the 3 Ojama monsters into your Ojama Emperor, giving you the play for this to either, you can even summon off using Ojama King, using these 3 and keeping another Ojama monster on the field, and then using Ojama Emperor's effect to summon any of the ones you sent to the graveyard back onto the field as well. And if you have the Ojama Country set up, also giving both of the monsters 3,000 attack because of the switch, being able to swing for heavy damage against your opponent also. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoy the video. It's definitely a fun deck. Ojamas have always been one of my favorite GX decks to work on. Been doing it for a while, but I definitely do want to get out the ARM, Dragon, like XYZ Ojama deck update as well with Master Rule 5, so definitely look forward to that. But until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Twig out.